On the outskirts of the New Forest in a place called Cadnam was the first time I ever saw this game, Barcrest Cash Attack at £35 jackpot. It was in a little Toby Carvery, a really nice little busy pub. Had some good machines over the years, and everyone used to go there that lived near there because it had frequent play. I mean, everyone that was waiting for their table at the Toby Carvery for their roast dinner would have a quick drink, wouldn't they, and put a 20 in it or put their change in the machine. And when I walked in there to see this game, I thought, wow, that's a new concept by Barcrest, a big diamond board and this cash up the right and the reels with all these numbers on it. It did look quite appealing. So I tried a few quid, gambled up to the sort of centre point, and it just kept on killing me. And I can't remember how much I lost, but I definitely did lose on the game. And it was only for a few months later when I got a phone call saying that this was an amazing trick on this game, but it was a little bit illegal. And I say a little bit illegal because it involved turning the machine on and off at the wall, what we call plugging it. And back then, it weren't really deemed as illegal. Well, it's borderline. In this day and age, I mean, you can't go around plugging machines, and if you do get caught, it can be quite painful because police can get called and all the rest of it. But back then, you could sort of blag it. And certain things I used to say was, if someone came over and went, oh, why are you turning the machine on and off? You go, well, oh, my brother's an engineer, my dad's an engineer. He's always told me if there's a little error, just to turn it off yourself. Why would I need to come and bother the staff members? You know, you're really busy. I said, I do apologise, I didn't know. And you can sort of blag it like that. And that's what I did a couple of times on this game, actually. But it was something that you couldn't do in a dingy pub. Big chain pubs, you can get away with it easily. But smaller pubs was a bit more difficult and a bit more challenging because as soon as you got above 60 quid in the bank, anything you had extra would start paying out. And of course, this didn't pay out notes. None of the games before the 70s, and even the 70s didn't till the very end. It was all coins. So, you know what it's like in a local pub, all eyes on you, burning in the back of your head. You can just feel it, can't you? The horrible glares from the locals. So yeah, you couldn't go around plugging these. Well, you could do, but it was a bit more dodgy. But it wasn't just to do with plugging it. It was also to know your reels and manipulating your reels to try and get golden sevens. All will be shown in a minute. Now, for those that have been around for a long time, Cash Attack had been a game released by Barcrest before. It had exactly the same soldier, Napoleonic style theme. And there was a clone called Up and Away. It was released at £15 jackpot, and it was a great little money earner for fruity players at the time, way before my time, by the way. But it was just a little bit of extra knowledge because this game here, the sounds, the way the reels are laid out, it's a complete, utter clone to the original Cash Attack. Not the board layout, but all the sounds and everything. So it was like Barcrest's second attempt at the game. Now, there was another game called Going Ape, and that was identical to this one. That was a clone. It was like a monkey themed style game, different shell color compared to this red bubble shell, but it worked just the same as this game here. So in a nutshell, that's what you were looking for, and all you had to do was get golden sevens and then do a couple of extra bits, which I'll show you in a minute, and then turn the machine off at a certain time. Quite simple, isn't it, really? Well, one experience of this I'll never ever forget, and it still baffles me to this day, and I still can't believe it ever happens. And I'd love to hear if it's ever happened to any of you guys, but I think I'm quite pub savvy. I think that I can, my whereabouts, knowing if people are watching me, all that sort of stuff. I felt like I'm being pretty good over the years. Well, I was soon proven wrong in this particular time because I went to a pub in the middle of Portsmouth for doors. What that means for opening time. So in this case, this pub opened at 11 o'clock in the morning, and I went there and it had one of these in. I bought 2 Cokes, and as I collected my drinks, another guy walked in. Now this guy was in like early 40s, and he got himself a soft drink as well. And out of this huge pub, out of all the places he could sit, he sat directly behind me playing this game. Now when you play machines for quite a while, or frequently at least, you start learning little tricks in the trade, and you use the glass, this glass here, and certain spots of this glass to check out a reflection. You can actually look at it and see what's going behind you without having to turn around. And it's something that you utilise all the time to sort of get your bearings in a pub. And I could see this guy with a newspaper peeking around. And I thought, out of all the places in the pub to sit at first thing in the morning, you're looking around your newspaper, something's not right. And at first I thought he was another fruity player, so I thought, no way am I going to do this trick in front of him. Because at the time, I don't think many people were doing it in the area I was playing, so why would I want to give up the trick? So I decided to leave the pub and just take the dent, 10 quid or whatever it was, on the drinks and what I'd already put in, and I walked away. And I thought, I'm going to collar him when he comes out. And then I thought to myself, well, if he's in the pub, he must know how to do it. So I've messed up. I should have just done it. And I started doubting myself. Well, anyway, this guy follows me out. And I collar him and I say, oh, where are you from then? Thinking that he was like some fruity player. And he went, oh, Bucket, yeah, I've been watching you. And I was like, what? And he goes, yeah, I've been following you for the last 3 months. Just to let you know that the case will be now dropped. I was like, case? He goes, yeah, the inquiry. He said, you probably never knew even it existed. And I was like, it's news to me. And I just said it was a load of bullshit. I said, I don't believe you, mate, whatever you're saying. He goes, well, here you go then. On a Monday, you go here, you go to this pub, you play this. On a Tuesday, you go up here and play this. And on a Wednesday, you go up to Windsor and you do this. And I was like, oh shit. He actually knows where I've been. He's been following me. And I had no idea this guy was following me, right? And he was an undercover cop. And he'd been following me for 3 months. And I thought to myself, wow, I ain't been doing these. I'd literally been doing these for a couple of days. So I don't think he'd seen the ones I'd done before. Otherwise, he would have said something. But he just literally said, yeah, the case is dropped. I'm no longer going to follow you. And I could not fucking believe it. And to this day, it still baffles me how that happened. And it turned out it was all to do with some bad experiences I had in some other pubs at the back of Portsmouth. And I remember the police getting called once and they took the registration of my car down and all the rest of it. And I think it all spurred from there. I'm only putting the pieces of the puzzle together. I can't really put my finger on it, but that's the only time I could probably think that they ever decided to start following me. But lo and behold, anyway, it was dropped. So I went back in there and I did the machine. I turned it off and off on the wall, and everything was sweet and it all worked out fine. But it still baffles me to this day that happened. Right, enough of me yibby-yabbing on. Let's get some credits in it. Right. Okay, you can play this game on 2 stakes. This game at 35, by the way, was later upgraded to 70, and it was terrible at 70. The trick never worked, and to be honest, this actually got chipped out. So the 35s eventually got fixed. So what I'm going to show you never eventually didn't work. But you can play it on 2 stakes, 30p and 50p, and both stakes are completely independent. In fact, if I remember rightly, you buzz one up in the background anyway by playing it on 50p and by plugging it. But you play it on 50p initially, and then you want to start going for these cannons. So these cannons that are on the reels are on certain fruit positions, and when you get 3 of them, it gives you a bonus. Now this bonus can give you anything from nudges to high-low climb, select to that sort of stuff. And it basically accumulates nudges along the bottom here. And that's what these numbers on the reels do as well. So you would get that bonus and you would hope that you'd get like a selector or a high-low climb or something like that that would go up to 5 or 6 nudges. And then what you needed to do was you needed to know your reels, and you needed to manipulate those reels to get more cannons. And then you'd manipulate the reels again and you'd get more cannons. Like keep nudging the reels around basically. They're at least a minimum of 3 away. In most positions, sometimes 2, and you can get a certain setup when gold and 7s are there, and the machine would not know that gold and 7s is in view. It would sort of think, oh, you've got enough nudges here to get £4.80, but what it didn't see was there was another cannon there, so you'd nudge that in. That cannon would give you another bonus and eventually give you enough nudges to get the setup for gold and 7s, and you'll see it in a minute. Then what you want to do after that, you would start at 20 quid cash. This would automatically like zigzag it way up and start quite high up. You wanted to then gamble your first win. And then after that, you would be at 30 quid and you would press this button here, Death or Glory. Now, Death or Glory would then normally hit Mega Streak, Super Streak Red, which is also 35, Revolver, which is jackpot, which is Mega Streak as well. It sometimes can hit Naughty Boy, which is a little bit rarer, and these strikes as well. And they're basically all jackpot. But what you really want to do was hit these megas. The reason for that is because it would roll in all the wins, and then it would clock up in the middle here. And this is your bank, by the way, on the LCD screen where the cursor is. But it would accumulate your wins here. And at around about 32, 34 quid, you wanted to turn the machine off at the wall. Now what that meant was then it would initialize, it would turn back on, and that amount of money that you turned it off, 32 quid, would be in your bank. And the machine would not know it's giving you that win. It's called a free win. Therefore, the machine remained buzzy, it remained really happy, and you'd get another bonus, you'd get golden sevens, and you'd do it again. And you just keep doing that at least 3 times. And the reason why you could only do it 3 times was because you're turning the machine off every time, and this machine had a built-in like anti-fraud alarm. It was called an on-off alarm. So you needed to make sure that you didn't trigger that, because if you did trigger that, it's game over, really. The engineer's got to come out. It's just an absolute world of pain. So you could only do it 3 times. Later on, I found out that you can actually, it was on a timer, so you could leave it longer and then keep going back to it. But what you'd normally do is get 3 jackpots out by turning it off, another jackpot on 50p, and then drop it down a stake to 30p and get another jackpot. So it was quite a lot of money. And that's what we're going to do. So we're going to display the reels round, hopefully get a set of cannons. Like I said, I don't know whether this is chipped, so I don't know what program this is, but I'll at least be able to replicate, hopefully. I didn't even mean to hold that then. I'll hopefully be able to replicate the bust and all the rest of it, so you'll see all that. And if it does like cost a little bit, I'll just pause the video and I'll bring you back when I've got a bonus and the setup for golden sevens. In fact, that's probably what I'm going to do. So I'm going to pause it now and I'll bring you back when I get the cannons. Okay, first set of cannons in. And shortly afterwards I put the pause the video, but just because I've got these cannons, by the way, it doesn't mean I'm going to get golden sevens. Okay, you've got to manipulate the reels and you've got to get a little bit of luck with the nudges. And this is the sort of thing you wanted to get: selector and high-low climb. And then you got to know your nudges, your reels, sorry. So you need to know how many nudges you need. Now I know that middle reel is 2 away. That one there is very close. That one there is not too far. So if I can get 4 nudges here, that's why it did it. Okay, so it's only done 2. So it's messed me up a little bit here because I can't go right wheel because of that. I'm nudging the green bar. I'm gonna have to go middle. Now if I get 3 nudges here, which it could do, so it's giving me 6 quid there, super old. But if I get 3 nudges here, that reel's set up, that reel's set up, this one needs a little bit of work, but I can't nudge that now because it will auto, well, I'm nudging oranges and it will auto collect. So it's messed me up a little bit here. So I need to go back round the middle. It looks quite tight with the nudges. So I needed really to get 3 nudges there to have a chance here. But you can see here, it will never kill you when there's a 1 or a 12 there. You can go against the other number. Okay, so it's not that happy. I could have gone left roll there and back round, but it's not going to do much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video till when I get nice golden 7 set up, and then we'll go from there. Okay, a bit more of an interesting one. So I had no nudges there. It's gambled up 5 times. This will survive regardless. And I always go against that because it can sometimes drop in an opposite number of 1 or 12. But we're up here. Right, so looking at the reels. The right reel is already set up. The middle reel requires the bonus. And this one's miles away. So we have to work the left one first. But we've got 6 nudges. So we're going to use 3 to get 2 back. Okay, that's going to go to at least 6. So it's gone to 7, nice. So you need to go left reel again, because if you go middle, you have. Oh no, we can go middle there, but we're going to go Yeah, go left. Just get that set up. And then we go middle afterwards. Okay, so that's going to go to a 7 again. Right, middle reel. Okay, so yeah, it's happy to give the nudges here. But I've got 7 nudges. I'm going to use 2 more. And you'll see what's actually there at the moment. I should go to 8, but 7 will be enough anyway. Okay, so it's giving me 6 quid. So at the moment, go to the middle. And all the reels are set up now for where I need to be. So I'm going to go right one. And then middle. And then that'll be enough for golden 7s. So that's the setup. And that's how you get golden 7s. I've got a 12 there. So I'm going to be at least at 30 quid. Okay, so choices here. I want to bust this. I really do. Because I want to show you that it can hit mega. And that's what I'm going to do, right? But this here is a jackpot number and it's a mega streak. So there's 17 here, 17 numbers along here. So you hit a 12 and a 5 and it accumulate those numbers up. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, hopefully, Death or Glory hitting it. It can hit bust. Very unlikely, but let's go. There you go, mega. So that's what you'd do. You'd bust it and you let it accumulate up. And this is where it's going to accumulate in the middle. If you let it transfer over and turn it off, it'll automatically register the 35. So what you want to do is you want to get it to around about 32. So hopefully it goes oranges. Okay, that's enough. Turn it off on the wall at £32.80. So that's simulating turning the machine off at the wall now. And when we let the machine do its initialization, we should be able to turn it back on and we should have 33 quid in the bank. And that should be a free win if this was a program 1. So that's what you would do. You'd have the 33 quid in the bank, and guess what? It's not seen a penny of that. So then you would play again on 50p, you would do exactly what I just did then, and you'd try and get another mega streak. Now, if you had a chance of a mega streak, i.e. that revolver, you would just take that. You wouldn't bust that. There you go, 33 quid. It's paid to 33. You wouldn't bust it. You would just take the revolver, because why do you want to risk hitting that for like potentially nothing or a jackpot? But if it was something else, like 8 win spins, then you would bust it. Okay, so jackpot number 1 done. So then we go again. This is where we're going to find out now if it's seen the win or not. So if it's if it gives a win quite early on, then hopefully it's all good in the hood. At the moment, it doesn't seem like it's doing too much. But if you could just imagine that this was original program. I don't know if it is, by the way. I could probably delve into the statistics of the machine and find out what program it's running on. I'm not too good at these emulators, to be honest. Not like some of them that do the videos on YouTube. Anyway, I got a bonus. So let's see if it gives a win. Okay, it's probably the worst setup it could have done. There is a win there, but left reel is 1 away from being there. That's 1 away, and the middle needs work. So super hold. This does like going through cycles of super hold and nudges like this. So there is a win there, and I could nudge it in, but I was gonna go for the let him spin and try and get the setup again. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring you back when I get another golden 7 set up, and then hopefully won't cost too much, and I can show you the bust again. Okay, this was about a tenner afterwards. I'm still unsure if it works. This is very, very tight, so it can still mess me up here. But if I can get 2 nudges here. Which I've got it, yeah. So this is where it doesn't want to give me any more than those nudges. So it's giving me the bare minimum. So, right, this is where we've got to be a bit careful because we're really, really like short of nudges. So you need to go to left reel now, pretty sure. Yeah, so left reel to the there, that's it. Okay. Right, yeah. That was quite a little tricky setup because you can screw yourself with the orange bars. Okay. Okay, back at revolver again. So again, I would normally take that and hit the 12 and 5. But I'm going to Death and Glory it. And hope it goes back up there again. There you go, back up the mega. So you can see what I mean by the bust and how the game itself transfers the value or equals the value across. So I'm going to get ready to plug it again. Okay, that was bang on 35. I was going to plug it a little bit earlier. But that will go across. And then we'll do it again. And then you'd get another bonus. And then you get another golden 7s. And then eventually, you would have 3 plugs done. And then you'd get your normal jackpot. Hope it goes a little bit big because Mega Street can carry on. And then you drop the stake. So, I'm probably going to let it boot up. And then either drop it down or end the video because I don't think there's really much more to share with the video because it's just rinse and repeating. Yeah, let's pay the 35. Let's just like I said, you'd get another one. Let's just drop it down and see what this stake's doing and just see if we can manipulate the bonus around. Now this stake here was a little bit more tricky because golden 7s obviously is only 10 quid. So you're still starting at the same point on the reel, but the value's much less. So you're hoping that it still hits high off the bust. So I'll bring you back when I get a bonus set up on this stake. Okay, first bonus then. Literally, I stopped recording and it dropped it in. Gave me a hollow coin 4 nudges. The right reel needs a lot of work. So we'll see if it gives enough nudges. Five. Yeah, don't think it's going to do it. Back round we go. Yeah, it's going to go nudges there. We need at least. Yeah. Bit of a shame. Right, I'm gonna just for the final time. I'm just going to get you a golden 7s on this stake, and then we'll just show you what the bust is like on this stake, and then end the video, I think. Okay, just had the setup there, went back round the middle reel and it gave me a select of 6 nudges, so there's still work needs doing. I'm going to go to right reel here, just once, because I've still got, okay. Right then. So it's there on that reel. Yeah, 2 nudges there. Yeah, should have enough here. Well, definitely have enough. Just don't know whether if I do that one 3 times, that'll drop down to the. So take 1, nudge 1 down, nudge 2 down, 1, 2, 3, 4. just to save the hassle. Right, let's see if it hits it then. This stake is dodgy though. It's the same equivalent. I'm going to bang the 10. Let's try it. Go on. Yeah. So that stake can bust. I've had it quite a few times, but there we go. I'm going to just let this play. I'm not turning it on and off. I'm just going to like just simulate that's the end of the video. But a great little trick. Made some good money out of it. A lot of people also did, but you had to bust it and had to plug it, so it was a little bit dodgy at times. I'll let this count up and then I'm going to end the video. This is what I mean, it's going to auto pay out now. So Red Mega can carry on by another 20 quid. It'll spin the wheels regardless, but there's a certain setup which you know it's going to donk. Which is that one there, that red 7. But that's it, cheers for watching guys. That's part 8 done, still in 2007, plenty more episodes to come. But I'll see you on the next one. Please whack in the comments your experiences and all the rest of it like usual, and I'll see you soon. Ta-da.